When I wake up every morning, I'm very grateful to be living in the city of Naples. Naples is rated nationally as the #1 place to live and to retire in the United States. In 2016, as I was running for council, I sat down with the police chief and I said, "Chief, what is it that you need to make your department complete?" The chief said, "I don't have an armored vehicle and I don't have a command post vehicle." Once elected, I was able to work with the chief and government and get both those vehicles for him. His department is now complete. Because of them, the city is much, much safer. The city was in the process of looking at building a new fire station. The original plans were for a one-story building that did not have room for all the command staff and was not set up to take a Category 5 storm. After much, much work, negotiations, cajoling, I was able to convince the rest of council that we needed a 2-story building that was Cat 5 certified. We could keep all our command staff in there. We had an EOC, an Emergency Operations Center, which we didn't have before, so we could interact with the county. And we had a duty to be sure that those people are safe and that they have the best equipment possible. And above all, and probably most importantly, all the records of the city are in there. It's safe, it's a repository that cannot be harmed, and that's what I did. Let's talk about roundabouts. Roundabouts have been used in Europe forever, and they all work. What we need is more education and people to understand what it is to use a roundabout. With roundabout is we have 85% less fatalities when roundabouts are used at an intersection. Water quality, 2 words that are on everybody's lips. Water quality for the city of Naples starts in Orlando. Orlando has 38% of its people on septic tanks. That pollution all goes into the Kissimmee River. The legacy pollution from the farmlands on either side of the Kissimmee River, that all goes in there. That then flows into Lake Okeechobee. In the last 2-3 years, I've been 4 times to Lake Okeechobee to look at the dam, to talk to the people there, and understand exactly what goes on there. What happened after Irma when we had all the red tide and the HEB, hazardous algae bloom, is that when Irma went through there, it took the bottom of the water in Lake Okeechobee, which is all sediment and nutrients and everything, and mixed it all up. That water then got into the rivers, the St. Lucie River and the Caloosahatchee River. What affected us is that it went from the Caloosahatchee River, it went into Fort Myers, it went into Cape Coral, it went into the canals. We had the sheet flow down through Collier. All that flows in to Naples Bay and flows into the city of Naples. Got a federal grant, a large federal grant that allowed us to put oyster beds back in Naples Bay. You put the oyster beds out there and almost overnight they become populated. You get fish around there. The water around them gets better. Each little oyster, 2 inches by 2 inches, will cleanse 50 gallons of water a day. We need a lot of oysters to do that, but this is the start of the process to make sure that we stay ahead of Naples Bay and we don't get behind it. The other thing we did on the red tide is council passed a resolution, happy to lead that from the 1st of May until the 1st of October, there's no fertilizer put on lawns by our lawn care people in the city of Naples. That keeps the nutrients from running into the ocean, and things like that, like fertilizer, to use a scientific word, makes the red tide angry, makes it bloom, makes it be bad, and makes it almost impossible to breathe. We have 27 lakes in the city of Naples, 6 of which are lakes that the city owns. These lakes in reality are retention ponds. The last time we dredged one was about 3 years ago. We have 3 now that I've been talking about lakes for 30 months on council. We finally decided there's 3 lakes that we're now going to plan. You have to plan first, but they're in the plan to take care of 3 of these in the next year and a half. Besides the 3 lakes that I said that we're now in the planning stage to clean up, we have a plan over the next 10 years to address all of the lakes in the city. PAB, the Property Advisory Board, probably one of the most valuable advisory boards that we have in the city. We have many boards, they're all important, but the PAB is probably the most important. I was lucky enough to be named to serve on the PAB for a couple of years. What we do is we pick people, we try to pick people, if possible, so we can cover all areas of the city. These people serve on their own time, there's no pay, they're long hours, a lot of things, a lot of paperwork to read. I have never voted against the decision that the PAB sent to us. The reason is these are the citizens of our community. These are the people you have coffee with. This is the guy you joke about your golf game with, or the lady that you meet at the supermarket. So when the PAB comes to us and said, we've looked at this, we, the citizens of Naples, have looked at this, and we think that this is a good thing. I'm an elected official. I'm supposed to listen to the people that elected me. The PAB is made up of these people. So I cannot, again, I will repeat, I cannot think of one time that I've went against a decision that the PAB gave us. Traffic is another word that's on people's minds. 2.5 years ago, City Council thought they had the problem solved and that they were going to build a parking garage at 4th and 4th. We found that our citizens, by virtue of emails and phone calls and attendance at meeting, really didn't want that parking garage. With the feelings of the people on my mind, I did not pursue the building of the parking garage. Back on traffic, I would think that in the next year, year and a half, there's going to have to be some studies made, which we've talked about. You know, do we make the streets, do we make 5th one way? Do we make 4th the other way? Do we do something better to move traffic along in and out of that area? The city has a lot of land out at the airport. Do we run a shuttle? A lot of towns run shuttles. We'd run a shuttle every 20 minutes. You'd park out there, we'd shuttle you in. Shuttle will probably run from 2 in the afternoon to midnight. We'll shuttle people in and out. That would be another way to look at solving the parking problem. One of the best items that's come before us in the last year, year and a half is the new Gulf Shore Playhouse, which is going to be over the 1041 corridor in there. They have great plans. Everybody's seen the plans. It's going to be a wonderful building. They have extra land which they're going to give to the city if we'll put a parking garage up there. We're very happy in my mind to do that. We haven't got that far to completely okay it, but that parking garage will do many things. It will serve at night and sometimes during the day, because Gulf Shore is going to have events there or classes during the day. But it also will give that area there much needed parking for the business community that's trying to grow there. We can't make 5th Avenue any bigger or any taller. We can't do anything with 3rd. But the area over there at 1041, that corridor over there, people over there that have businesses, very successful businesses, we're going to try to allow that area to grow. It's going to help revitalize that area. It's going to bring more people in there. And of course, the stores that are going to be there would love to have people. So it'll bring vitality to that area, and I think it's a very good thing. Let's talk about events. The events are a very important part of our city. We have 2 art events that happen on 5th Avenue. We shut the street down. They bring in local and national talent artists. Those are the kind of things that people look for. We also have to keep in mind that these events can't clog up the traffic down there. So we've made a concentrated effort in the last 2 or 3 years to look at all the events. What's the parking area? How much parking are they going to need? We don't overpack the city with people, but it has that vitalization of having people moving and something going on. We have the car show where we shut 5th down. That's wonderful. That last year, almost $450,000, the proceeds from that directly went to St. Matt's House. That's a huge thing for the community, and it's a huge thing for St. Matt's House. So we're looking at events. They have to fit. They have to fit in with the traffic flow. They have to fit with everything else that is going on. But our community services department is doing a very good job of that. And we're doing everything we can to provide people with what they want to have, but not to overload them with things so that they can't get around our city. The city dock. The city dock before was not in real good shape. The city dock before could not handle large vessels, which we have quite a few in this area. I'm talking 100, 150 foot vessels that come here. The new city dock is state of the art. It's a floating dock. It goes up and down with the tides. We now can put 350 footers out on the end of it if we need to. It's revitalized our charter fishing fleet. It's revitalized our charter fleet for people who go out on boats, and then it's better. It's a much cleaner dock. It's much easier to use. It's much safer to use. There's nothing like going down there to watch the sun come up in the morning, or to go down there when the fishermen come in at the end of the day with their catch, or to just walk by and look at all the vessels that are there. Truly something that always was a part of Naples. With great planning, we were able to change that dock now into not just part of the city, but now it's one of the things in the city that people look at. Baker Park. Acres and acres and acres of greenway, acres and acres and acres of green to walk through. Mounds where you can stand up on and look at the sunset or the sun come up. You can look down on the Gordon River. Great community building there, even Sugden Gomez building, already been used by the governor when he made a speech. It's a people's park. You can pick it up on the greenway on your bicycle or walk. You can come from the airport, you can go over that way over the bridge. It's very walkable. You can walk from downtown there. Baker Park is something that most cities wish they had. We have, and Baker Park will only get better as people use it. There's been some talk about the city's pension plans. Pension plans are in wonderful shape. One is in the high 70s and the other three are in the 80s. All these plans are at percentages of being funded that most cities could only dream about reaching. In the last couple of years, instead of amortizing these plans over 30 years, we've amortized them over 20. By doing that, we've made it easier to pay them down. We also have decided in the last budget, good give and take on that, but I was able to vote on the positive on that we're putting extra money in the pension plan every year going forward. When I was elected in 2016 by the people of Naples, I viewed it that they gave me the care of the city. I looked at the city as a jewel, something that no one else has, something that's great. And my job was to keep it as it was or to try to make it better. I believe I've done that, and I'm so happy that I was able to do that. My name is Reg Buxton. I'm running for re-election, and I appreciate your vote. Thank you.